yes. Rock it up. You can get the fuck out of here. Calling me Garbador. I'm done with that shit. Yeah, let's turn up. Oh man, it's Thursday. It's my day, bro. I love Thursdays. Shout out to everyone that's pulling in nice and early. We are live for the Ronin Radio. Just waiting for the rest of our crew members to pull up and be ready to take this show where it needs to go. I got all the energy for you lot today. Are you ready? These are the times. -5% and people are shitting bricks. Shitting bricks. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is about to be a glorious set of months ahead of us. Lots of news coming out. We do not have any alpha on the Ronin V2 just yet, but we can speculate. Other things happening in the ecosystem, like the bounties that are assigned to your Ronin profiles. You can be playing Wild Forest and Party Icons right now, 2 Ronin games, to get yourself some experience points, bounty points. I don't know what they're calling them, but you get points. You get the point. That's the point. Either way, those things are live right now. Lots of other games to be playing too. Personally, I'm not all the way into a lot of different games, but Lumaterra testnet has reopened. We're back and active with the Lumies. You know what I mean? Their Kaito yapping is still occurring right now. You got a bunch of things that you could dedicate yourself towards to push the Ronin narrative forwards. Ladies and gentlemen, Cambria is coming back very soon. They are now having a new system with pink shards. If you do have Cambria cores, you should be staking them. And let this serve as your reminder today. In other news, I'm super bullish on developers that are homegrown or here in Ronin as indie developers building shit in these quiet times. Shout out to Kitty, KTTY, bro. That token has appreciated by almost 50% this week, because they're making moves. Go check out their new website, and if you haven't already, like, check out the whole project. There's a lot that's coming down with that, and like I'm really bullish on the team. That's just a personal note, no bias. I mean, total bias, but either way. Anyway, shout out to everybody that's pulling in nice and early. I appreciate you. Actually, you know what? I did you a dis. Nah, my YouTube Premium ran out. That's what's just happened. My YouTube Premiums actually ran out. So, if you understand how down bad we are, yeah, we're having YouTube Premiums run out here on the show. So, you know, I need the spirit to be upwards. So repost the stream, and also I've done you a disservice because I haven't put your chats on the screen, and I like to see you like talking. And I do have a special fuck you reserved today, aside for our good friend Ronky Cop in the chat. And at some point in the show, I will deliver a specific segment just to say fuck you, bro. But thank you guys for being here. We are waiting for Mr. Theban as fucking always. I don't know, like, if you guys are catching on to a trend here, but it's a thing. But we're gonna keep the show we're gonna keep this show rocking, and hopefully we'll get started really soon. But by all means, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're live over there on YouTube right now at 1,000 subscribers. We'll give away some more Ronkies. Ronky Rice Farming is live right now, so if you haven't gone ahead and got your farm, there is a discount right now, which is going to be a huge impact on your return on investment, bro. If you get in now, I'm not joking. Now's the time. If you're going to ape, you should ape right now. So shout out to the team for getting that out the door as well. But yeah, repost the stream. Give us your chats. You know what I mean? In the comments, we are going to respond to you guys throughout the whole show. We've been really appreciative of how much they've been popping recently. So shout out to you guys, and we'll get this show on the road in a moment. So sit tight and go and tell your grandma that I'm live, and that's it. Ah! What did wait? Why did Stark just come and leave? I don't understand. I don't understand. Look, normally normally there's a better intro than that. But yo, welcome to the Ronin Radio. We are live. It's Thursday, the traditional day. If you don't know, Ronin Radio is your key, your link to the Ronin ecosystem. Every single week, twice a week, we bring you the news on the ground at on the Ronin network, bro. Thursday is, normally a day that we bring through a few heads, have a debate, bring some cool people through. Today, I thought we've had such good shows over the last week that we should just kick it with the familia. You know what I mean? That's actually a lie. That's just an excuse for how lazy I've been between Tuesday and now and not actually got a guest. So, but next week, I'm telling you, spicy. Next week, next week's gonna be a good one. But for now, let's kick it with our peoples. I got my good friend, Mr. 1437 here, and I love it every time. Stark's in the building. Batronky can tell us about his Batronky adventures over the last few days or so. Maybe we'll get an update from him. But yeah, if you haven't already, go ahead and follow the Ronin Radio on X and subscribe on YouTube. And yeah, we'll help you understand the Ronin ways, anything that happens here in Ronin as well. And you have a perfect community to join and take part in. So shout out to all my people of Moses. I appreciate you guys. But let's get this show on the road, bro. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What is good, my people? How are we feeling?
Yeah,
Stop,
good.
You ready to go? Oh, Steven needs his coffee.
My coffee too.
You gotta give him a little moment. He needs something.
Yep. Every show. In the mornings. Every show.
Lock it in, bro. Listen, I'm gonna be 100%. I have nothing written down for today's show.
Yeah.
So really,
that's nice.
Where do we want to take it? I actually want to see, like, the only thing I know of right now that is like really, really occurring, of course, is the rice farming. It had its issues at the start of the week. We did a show covering it last show, so really and truly to wholly focus on that, I don't think we will do. But no, you've been asking me questions, Stark, as well, and I actually, Theban, I want to know: are you even going to take part?
Of what questions?
Stark's been asking me, what's the setup like? What should I say?
Just asking him how you.
I don't know why you'd ask me, to be honest.
No, I'm asking you to know what not to do. So.
Okay. Oh, you want to see my response and say, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. No. Go ahead, Starkey, first.
No. You. I insist.
Yeah, no, I actually messaged in our team chat something I want to talk about, or something I thought we could discuss today on the show was a little bit about the evolution of like play to earn, what it's done, right? Yeah. You guys, I read some post earlier. I forgot who it was, not earlier, but like yesterday. Like what does it mean now? Like when we first started, this whole journey of Axie started with play to earn, right? And to this day, there's still a lot of like games who still copy very similar mechanics, right? You can call it Ponzonomics as much as you want it, but it's masters play to earn. So I want to ask you guys like what you thought was happening like with the games nowadays. Are they evolving from it? What have they evolved from it? Because I think it's a good discussion to see like, okay, which games are actually doing the right thing, right, and which aren't, and then that we can naturally lead the discussion into do these games need some of these things that enable play to earn, right? Or maybe is it a trap? Because just because Axie was successful for it doesn't mean that one, you will, or two, it's even the right way to go about it.
So like, God, this is gonna expose the shit out of me here because I was a late comer, right, to Axie at the tail end. when like there's a lot of hype around SLP right now, right? People have been talking about SLP. I think this might have influenced why you want to kind of have this debate and this conversation. But when SLP was first like established, what was the TGE for that token? Was it like did SM own all of it and they just put it in the game? Like I actually don't fucking know.
You know, that's a great question because I don't know either. I'm sure Grok probably knows better than us.
No shot. I'll ask
like,
Grok live right now.
I wasn't there when SLP first came, so I don't even know actually. I think, yeah, let's ask.
The inception of the token SLP.
Was it purely through playing? You'd assume
that's
so,
what I mean.
But I'm not sure.
So they would I mean, like, I know that the token and put it in the game.
Only get
right?
it from
it was purely in game, I believe.
That's
what created the hype around scholars and all of that, because the demand was just not being able to be met.
Because what I'm trying to say is essentially, did they mechanically, right? Like, did they generate this token, buy all of the token with a fund, right? Like to own the entire supply and then just plug the supply into the game and say, look, it all exists there.
Okay. So Gio said the story multiple times, right? Like the reason why SLP exploded wasn't because there was too little supply. It was because there was these guys on 4chan. They saw it as like some kind of a meme coin, right? And they started buying it from this game, right? And it had like some utility to it and so on. So that started like exploding the price. And then because the price went up too high for the SLP, then like people were like, oh my God, we got to mint more, right? And the only way to mint them is by playing the game.
Yeah.
Right. And then they have to breed more axes to mint more SLP and so on and so on and so on. So that's what happened. It wasn't because like there was too little supply. It's because of the speculation factor, right? That pumped SLP price.
So does that mean that play to earn actually is inspired by the fact that the tokens are only accessible through playing the game? Like mechanically,
no. I think a lot of things need to align, right? I think the speculation, the meme factor, the virality of the token is what made the price go up, right?
Yeah.
Playing the game to acquire it just meant that, you know, that like Ponzonomics can go longer, right? Because there wasn't already an insanely large supply that was able to, you know, kill off the buy pressure, right? It let it mature and it happened, right? Because there's a lot of inflows coming in. But nowadays it's like, let's say the tokens that we do get launched for these P2Es and stuff, they're like tokens that are already controlled by the team. It's like they're waiting for that virality and then they're gonna dump on you, right? Like if that ever happened, like they always have a supply to like, you know, balance off all that buying pressure, where like SLP got a chance to bloom because like there was just too much money flowing in than what was already available, and most, if not all, was probably in the hands of the people.
Yeah. So yeah.
So even
I don't
there,
know.
we started because we started saying like about like the nature of P2E and how games like whatever Axie did, games copying it, and it may not be the way to go about it, right? I summed up a little bit of what you were saying, I think, Theban. And it's like, and whereas there, we're seeing that even there, most games are not even essentially copying Axie because they didn't do their token for SLP, you know, their in-game token, and they're not even doing it the same way Axie did. So everyone's saying everyone's copying Axie and it's not working, but wait a minute, they're not even copying Axie properly. They might be copying the some aspects, but they're not copying the aspect that benefits the community the most.
That's what I was trying
to say.
Yes. Which is probably why they're not fucking surviving.
No. That's not true though. That's not why they're not surviving. The thing is, there are games that did 2 token economies, right? But they also didn't work. Like for example, Aperon did 2 token economy. They had APRS and they did it the same way. It's like AXS, and then they had Anima, which was like an SLP, right? The problem was like early on, the Anima was farmed by all the P2 A guys, right? That's what you were able to farm was the anima, and then that got obviously dumped, and then like price stayed low, and even while it stayed low, people didn't buy it. Obviously, their economy is like very far away from being something that has a loop, right? But I would say if it was viral, none of that would matter, right?
Yeah.
Because if the game caught on, it's like, oh yeah, let's go. All these League guys or Dota guys or whatever want to come and play this game because it's nice and you can make something out of it, or like, or like it became like some kind of a meme or whatever, and then the players came after. It's kind of like, what came first, the chicken or the egg thing.
I know.
Right?
I actually think Aperon's problem, like they did it right in terms of like having the 2 token economy, but the experience side was like way worse than Axie. If you think about Axie, it's like I need 3, and then I just go and click cards, right? Like, and I will make something, right? Whereas like with Aperon, like I could have a planet, right? Lend all of the apostles and just lose, or just play bots. So like the experience wasn't there. Whereas Axie, it actually had that buzz. There was people there, and it was just like, okay, get 3. How much does that cost? Let me do that. I've got 3. Now I can jump in the game and look. I'm already clicking these cards and I'm figuring it out. Or I'm in adventure mode and I'm just beating these slime bosses. But hey, look, I made the SLP that I've seen and heard about, and it was like there's a quicker turnover. So the person gets like their hands on the thing faster, so they can start to think, oh, what should I do with this, or can I do what I just did better? And like I think that triggers something in people much more, or much stronger than the period of time that it took to complete that task with Aperon. Like, and I don't say that to say that Aperon's a bad game. I think Aperon is a fucking 10 times better, even more times better in terms of what they produce as a product than Axie Classic. Like obviously TCG in a completely different game, so you can't really compare them. But like the experience of what Aperon is phenomenal. It's a great game, but it was the experience of the hype cycle wasn't the same. So even if they did imitate the 2 token economy, I don't think they had the experience as it needed to be, as it was for Axie.
I think it's more so you cannot reward people, you cannot give away all these tokens and all these things and get into the hands of people before the viral part, is what I'm thinking. Look at traders. What do traders do? Traders always look at supply, they look at float, they look at like who has access to this and that and so on. If I talk to the best traders, they're gonna be like, oh, they did the P2A. Okay, when is that coming out? I'm shorting. Like I'm not buying that. I'm never even touching that. I'm not even looking at that. Like you do a P2A, like you automatically cut out a big a big set of volume, because they only care about like, okay, does this even have a chance of going up? So my problem here is people think that you're going to get marketing because you're giving away money through your game, but then you kind of cap yourself at like what your top is, right? Because you're giving away like all this free tokens, and then people are saying, oh, why are they selling it and blah blah blah. Well, that's the nature of crypto. If you have a chance to sell it, then people are going to sell it because they have the chance to do it. Crypto versus like Web 2 games is like it's like an easy version or easy access of you to get something and be able to offload it, right? If I'm playing World of Warcraft, I can sell the gold too, but I have to go through a bunch of like third-party websites and all this shit. And so yeah, which in crypto is like, oh, I go to a DEX and boom, I put it in, I put my SLP in, here it is, USDC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what did you want to get from the conversation, like the play to earn evolution? Because I don't think anything has happened. It hasn't really evolved, right?
So the question is like, to you guys, is what are people actually doing right? Because we always talk about what they're doing wrong. We always talk about like what they shouldn't do and everything. And everybody's a fucking genius, right? When it comes to what they shouldn't do. What is it that they should do? Right. So that's why I was asking. That's why I said earlier, like, have they done it wrong? Was the virality more important than having a P2A? Maybe you're supposed to build with your small community, right? Do something, maybe viral marketing campaigns or whatever it may be. Do that, spend money on that over P2As, and then once people have come in, you do something big.
I will say, I think it's a non-replic. Like, you can't replicate the event. I think it is a totally unique period of time, a totally unique happening that will not be repeated.
Mhm.
That's my genuine belief on like what Axie did originally. I don't think you repeat that, and I think the market and the industry has matured so much since then that the same components wouldn't have the same effect. And we're not going to have a COVID again. I mean, God forbid, but you know. So that might be the bearish take of today, but I really don't think it's you can replicate it.
I mean, at that scale, yes. Plus, just the simple fact that there's more than one game around is a reason enough to argue that it wouldn't happen again the same way, right? Because it's like you funnel everything in if you're the only thing out there that people can look at in that way. So yeah, but the virality and the order in which a project, the order in which a project needs to do things in order to succeed, that can still be talked about and argued, because it doesn't have to be at the scale of Axie, right? It can still be, what are they doing right? And it's definitely the community building and the virality. Two things come to mind for me. There's like Moku, and then we were all tweeting about it the last couple of days, but like Mott's Guild, where it's like community building, internal, like the Moku Discord, before anything was built, before the NFTs were released, was a guild, was that, and they're building, it's like building community. And like it's so, especially Mod, so silent that like even you guys weren't in it until Cairo forced you guys to join the other day, because that's like it's just it's organic community building through different opportunities and stuff like that, and fun events. And so that definitely feels in line with what we were saying, Theban, because it's like it's the two in my mind at the moment, right? Because it's things, narratives change and stuff like that. But in my mind at the moment, coming straight to the front of my mind are those two things, and they have that in common.
Yeah, look at the hottest, like I said, one if not the hottest like builders like in our ecosystem. It's Moku. Moku don't even have a token.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't even have a P2A. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's like, and this got me thinking about some of these games. It's like, I think not enough people have caught on. I think a lot of people have caught on, but not everybody. It's like, why do they need a token? Right? And then you ask, like, why do they need an NFT? And then you ask, which games actually can use NFTs? Which games can use tokens? And which games can actually use both? And with a lot of these games, it's like I feel all of them doing NFTs and tokens automatically is like, for me nowadays, it's like a huge red flag. It's like you haven't thought about your ecosystem properly, unless you literally have like, I want to say somewhere between 30 and like higher, right, $30 million or higher, right? Like for you to automatically be like, okay, we can sustain a token and an NFT structure, then it's like it's pointless to launch both, I think. In this current, like with the current information that we have, business is the same thing. Like you're always trying to accumulate information. You're always trying to like find things in your meta and so on, and they just don't have it.
Yeah, I've said this for a while, but we spoke about this with Travis last night on Keeping It a Buck. I think a lot of the games just don't fucking need tokens, and that they should leverage the network token, and that kind of gives the value to the network. But then when you have so many games, you have so many factors that can like damage other ecosystems without the fault of that.
I don't even know if that's true, because the token, you can just like peg them to its USD value, right?
Like the in-game actions. Like
exactly. Right? Like let's say I don't know, your check-in, and it puts you part of a lottery or whatever, it can just cost 50 cents in
Yeah.
Ron, right? And I think using something like Ron is good because there's more volume there, right? There's
Actually,
more
that makes
liquidity
a
there.
bunch of like, because I didn't think about it like in depth. I was just like, why don't games that come to Ronin just leverage Ron as the token, and
Because
obviously,
launching
yeah,
a token is free money.
it's
Because
not. It's
there's
free fucking debt for these teams, though.
no. The
That's not how
part
they
is
do it.
they're no matter what happens, they're gonna sell, right? They
Yeah.
need to sell because if they don't sell, it's bad. Like they've literally raised money, right, from people to sell this token later, right? So that's the debt that he has. It's not even about the debt from the community, right? With the community, they're just gonna be like, oh, games shut down all the time, guys. You bought this at your own risk. But who they
Ho ho
want to
ho ho.
satisfy are those investors, right? Because the investors, if they make money, they will invest into your next startup, right? And then they're gonna keep going and going. So they don't care whether the people, do their thing or not. They just need
Do you
the
think
next
the
flow.
industry got like too pigeonholed in the idea of like, because a lot of what crypto was in the early phases of like tokens before we got like the full explosion of meme coins and stuff like that, a lot of it was like, oh, this is a greater way to raise funds for a business, a more decentralized and direct way to raise funds for a business idea for a startup, right? Like, did we get too narrowed into that method and then stopped looking at like what was actually fucking smart to do as a company? And then it's
Yeah.
just like, well, we can raise money better this way, so let's do it like this.
Well, a lot of the companies that you see now who are in this industry are not like your S tier builders, right?
Yeah.
These are guys who couldn't get raises, who couldn't do those kind of raises in the Web 2 world, right? So like some of them are real builders and they're here to like do good shit. Some of them are, LARPs at the end of the day, right? Who
Please.
saw an opportunity.
What does a LARP stand for? Like, what is it
Live-
an abbreviation?
Live action role play. No,
Is that actually what a LARP is?
it's
No,
like those
I'm asking
medieval recreation things and stuff like that. So it's like someone playing the role of something, but not being the thing itself. Is how I understand that. But
Yeah. I had to confirm just to make sure that it's actually what it is.
it's like when there's those medieval fairs, and then everyone dresses up as a knight and stuff like that, and they fight with cardboard swords, and then they're like, "Oh, you got me," and shit like that. But it's like, that guy's not a knight. That guy's not a courageous knight. He's just he's a fun guy, but he's not a knight.
I know what you're saying. LARPers are the people that dress up with swords and shields. They go role play in the woods. Then it became a term like FOMO LARP.
We got Zayori in the chat. Yo, we gotta get Zayori on keep it a buck.
Actually, yes. Yo, Zuri, we're gonna get you
Zayori.
on Keep It a Buck, bro. We're gonna get you on Keep It a Buck. We'll have a
I want Zayori's AI version in the Keeping It a Buck. Have you guys seen those?
Yeah. It's dope. I won't lie, it's actually really dope. I got a DM about that. I want one of those too, man. I wanna try doing that too. But yeah. What we saying about the companies?
That they're LARPs.
LARPing.
Yeah.
Some of them are real, and some of them are LARPing.
Right. So I started to think like some of these games, they gotta like stay in their lane, right? They gotta stay in like what they're actually capable of doing. I think some can, like we said, like if let's say you're part of an ecosystem like Ronin, right? And then you have the Ron token. It's okay for you to launch an NFT, and that could be your entry to certain things, and you raise a certain amount of money. But like you could work within, just using the NFT, and then like using the Ron, accumulating fees from your in-game Ron usages and so on, and then like try to make revenue from there. And then once you have like a proof of concept and you have enough people going through, you can estimate like, okay, would launching a token make sense now, right?
Yeah.
Can we sustain that ourselves? And if the answer is no, then keep using the Ron, right? And keep like making your bag on the fees that are coming in. And this doesn't have to be Ron, but like it could be like all ecosystems. Like a lot of these ecosystems have very deep liquidity. right? So the price isn't gonna fluctuate like crazy as well. So that's something to think about, I think, for new games, especially coming in. You don't have to like just do what everybody else is doing and then like just die faster, right?
Yeah, I know, bro. I'm just in like, I woke up a bear today. I don't know what it is.
Because everything is red.
Because everything went down.
Yeah.
Everything is red. I mean, like we've
I
had like
woke up a
what
bear today.
weeks of going up.
Yeah. But no, I just think like the more and more that I look at the industry, I just think, well, I keep getting to this conclusion of like, for us to actually like hit mass adoption and really make an impact, you'd have to have a marketing budget spend larger than some of the top game companies on the planet. And the marketing spend would obviously not just be adverts, videos, and on social media platforms. And however, the marketing channels that they use right now, they would obviously be more creative and they would utilize blockchain, right? And it would be a distribution. It would be a mass distribution. And that's kind of what we're doing, but we don't have facilitation.
Play to earn rewards are marketing too.
No, I know, and that's what I'm saying. It's like you would have to.
Is that what you meant by be creative with the blockchain? I guess you were encompassing everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I would even argue in that sense that it doesn't have to be the same amount as big Web2 games, because you could then argue $1 given to a player in game, is it the same value as $1 spent on marketing, the ads that nobody looks at? So I don't think it has to be in that sense the same amount to be able to be rivals with them.
Nah, I think to make an impact, you'd have to spend way more, and you'd have to actually.
Is he gone?
Yeah.
Good thing you're moving. I thought I disconnected. Yeah. Good thing that SteamYard likes to cut him off when he starts talking shit. So
he's back.
Welcome back.
No.
Welcome back, LARPer.
I'm telling you, they'd have to spend more, bro. You'd have to spend more. You'd have to spend more because you'd have to be equivalently in the face of people pushing the experience to go and play it, and then also rewarding them in game through play to earn. That's kind of, I'm not saying that is an absolute, but that's kind of where my mind is at right now. And I'm like, well, who is even close to making anywhere near enough revenue to make that spend sustainable?
The best I can do is pay you $15 for tweeting for a week, sir.
Yeah, you can suck my balls.
See, and now I think you guys are beginning to get my point. It's like none of these games have like a proof of concept, right? Like something that shows you this will work before they launch a token. They just fucking do it. They just launch it and they're like, no. We need the token for the proof of concept. So here you go, guys. Fucking buy this garbage, right? But you can just use the ecosystem token.
Mm-hmm.
You can start with that and let's see. So you don't.
Is that what you would recommend
community
developers to do?
I think anyone who doesn't have millions and millions of dollars to like sustain their ecosystem from day one by launching their own token, just use the ecosystem token first and just see if you're generating enough fees, if you're generating enough revenue, right? That allows you to go and launch a token after. Well, what are they runway without? You do know like a lot of these teams got like 4 years of runway just by selling NFTs first, right? Like you have to manage and be within your means. If you launching a token is how you have runway, then you're already fucked. Like literally, you are dead.
Yeah.
Before
it just goes back to like simple company mechanics, right? Like you have to have a proof of fucking revenue that you're gonna make money, that the funds aren't just gonna be invested into fucking vapor. And
exactly that's where we're at. That's why all these games die, because a lot of them are vapor, bro. Like you're making the point. Like
this is yeah. All right, yo, listen, you can get $15 for tweeting for a whole week here. I'm Ronin. I won't be too bearish here, but this went live last week, right? 19th. It is now the 24th. Is it on a 5 days or is it 7 day? I don't know.
It's crypto. It's 24/7, so it's 7
days.
It's 7
days. 7 day. Yes. Yeah, 7 day. And obviously this is going to be tracked by cookie.fun. People have had a lot of takes on this. I wonder. I think I know your guys' takes, right? But to be first overall, have the most mind share on Ronin for a week is $125. This is an experimentation. I will say this, but I haven't batted an eyelid at this, and as
Yeah,
a Ronin creator, that concerns me because is anybody else?
I had very strong takes at the start. Now they're dampened a bit to the sense that it's obviously an experiment, right? I still think that it's low amounts even for an experiment, because you could argue that if it doesn't excite big accounts, then how valuable is that experiment in the first place? But I think I saw Jiho's tweet saying that in the first few months, like after the announcement and all that, that like engagement measured on Cookie.fun was like doubled. So in that sense, it's
yeah, but we had the most bullish week of the fucking year. So
yeah,
just generally attention was doubled.
Just think about, like, if you look at test or not, or I think is the biggest Ron poster. So
but it's actually Brian now, because Brian tags every fucking Ronin person under the sun.
No. I think it was because he announced his ambassadorship.
Yeah, just yesterday.
So that post was like gigantic, right?
So yeah,
that was really good. But he makes some really good posts these days. Like,
yeah,
I noticed like he was heating up like
there's no way,
and I was like, yo, he's cooking.
No, there's no way that you click show more, see how many more words there are, and continue reading.
Who,
like, let's just do a run through.
I do. Right. I read all his posts.
The last data that was dropped.
I actually read all of his posts. I find, like, I always look for the gems. You know?
What?
Yeah, it's a lot of numbers. I won't lie, but I do read them.
You just pop them into Grok and you ask for a summary.
You're right. Yeah, that's the wrong guy, but like I did read them. You're just a wrong kid, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Summarize this in like 5 sentences. I can't even spell sentences, but let's see. That's not 5 sentences.
Whoa! Calm the fuck down. Actually, they're just mega long sentences. You should have said a number of words.
Okay. Anyway, we're talking.
Yeah.
About...
So I was saying that to dethrone or, so you'd have to be a big account plus post consistently. They value that at like $500 a month for like massive accounts. I don't know. I don't. At first, that's what I meant by my opinions dampened a bit. Like, as I was really fixated on the low, and like honestly insulting dollar amounts when you look at what other projects are paying. But then again, when you realize that it's, let's say, an experiment to start with, that's what dampened it a bit, like softened my views, I think. But at the end of the day, it's ultimately how valuable will the information you're getting from this experiment be if what's the word in English, like the conditions of your experiment, if they're not interesting, like you're not going to get the results you're looking for anyway, right? So it's like how do you know how effective more money will be if you're not interesting, if your experiment is not attracting big accounts? You know, it wasn't enough if it's not attracting big accounts to participate. If it's not attracting people outside Ronin to start tweeting about Ronin, what's the point of that experiment? Yes, I already know that small accounts that have been tweeting a lot about Ronin will get recognition, and that's good. But we already knew that. We already knew that if you throw small money to rice farmers, they'll be happy and they'll post more, and they deserve it especially if they've been posting about Ronin this whole time. But the whole point of doing InfoFi and all of that is to grow your reach, to get people outside of your ecosystem. You don't get that by paying $125 fucking dollars. Sorry, rant over. I don't know.
No, that's true. So they get measuring sticks, though, right? Like $125 is like.
Tell me one face you see there that you didn't know already was a Ronin bull before they announced it.
Moths. I didn't know. It's like moths never.
Fuck off.
I'm being honest. Okay. Let me be devil's advocate here. Okay. First of all, the money. I know. Listen to me. Hang on. Let me be the devil's advocate here. I know the money is a problem. Okay. I know that. It's very little. It's absurdly little, right? That's okay. Okay, but let's think about the concept of what's happening here. Okay, even if it was $1,000, nothing would change. It could be $5,000, nothing would change. Okay, I'm telling you, and I'll tell you why. All right, Aura's gonna win probably. Okay, and the reason why is because he's literally cultivated and made this account about Ronin and Ron since the inception of that account. Or from Axie to once Ron is out, it's been nothing but Ron. Okay,
we all know this.
That account is already cultured for it, right? No one else's account is cultured like that. Okay, so that's okay. But you have to understand what are the information you have, what are the rules of this game already. Why I say mods is because mods didn't even exist on Cookie last week, last month, 3 months ago, or a year ago. They're the only new base that you will see there.
Signed up.
Everybody else is already there because they were already talking about Ronin.
And signed up to Cookie, more importantly.
You don't need to be signed up to Cookie to
Really?
display yourself. Yes, you
don't.
don't. You do not. You do not.
Oh, right.
You do not need to be signed up.
Yeah, my bad. Okay.
So these are all the same people. Okay, it just meant that those people started posting a little bit more now. They're trying to fight for their position. Okay, now if a new person were to come in and participate in this, it's not going to be because of the USD value. I think if you want new people to come in and participate, you would have to literally launch a new token. Something people can speculate on. Speculation has more power than what a fixed value in USD does, in my opinion. I'm just saying. Okay, so it's hard for anybody to come in and rip away some of this mind share. It's really freaking hard because they can do it in one post. They might be able to do it in 2 posts, but after that, they're going to run out of ammunition, right? Because a lot of the people here were already curated for Ronin even without having this event happen.
Trevor says that he completely disagrees. If $5,000 was a reward for the leader, I think we would see some huge names like ICO Beast or Thread
No
Guy.
way. No way. Those guys get offers in hundreds of thousands, bro. There's digits. No way they will care about $5,000. No way. No way.
Especially
I think mid-tier, yes. I think mid-tier, yes,
sure.
but not people like Thread Guy and ICO.
Yeah. Not the biggest dogs. That's
I don't think they would for 5K. I think 5.
And 5K. And even for Ronin, if it wouldn't be worth doing an amount that would interest these guys, unless, as Theben said, we're talking about a new token with a new launch that would justify that spend. But I still feel like the scale of this experiment is not. My studies all of that are in science, so that's how I think. That's why I think that way, and I think that it's as the words that Zari used are perfect because it's a micro experiment where the results won't matter.
Right. I'll tell you why 5,000 wouldn't even be enough. Okay, ask yourself this question: would those guys take a $5,000 ambassadorship with Ronin? Okay, an ambassadorship is less than what you would have to do to be number 1 on this. Would they take a $5,000 ambassadorship? You know the answer to that already. Then you have to ask yourself, how much of an ambassadorship would they actually take? And then you have to put at least that amount for them to even think about it. Because you have to literally be posting about this all the time to compete.
Oh, you're in there, bro. So what you been saying?
Who, me? Yeah, I mean, that's easy. I'm already talking about Ronin every day, all the time anyway. I don't have to. I didn't have to do anything different than what I was already doing. I check Cookie sometimes. I was sometimes first in some weeks. That just happens. If you just have one post before. Now it's just a lot. You have to do you have to ramp up your posts a few more times.
Over the course of the year, there's a lot more familiar faces when you go that way. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just still think it's a flawed system, right? Of this mind share, and because if for example, if an account that already does have a seriously high impression rate just decided to, you know what, I'm just going to tweet about it for this week, they would just dominate.
Gunlock asked something that made me think about something. So he says not a lot of actual Ronin ambassadors on this list though. How about we talk how many of the people on this list are Ronin ambassadors and how many Ronin ambassadors are not on that list? And if we're paying them over $1,000 a month and they're not the top 25 on Twitter, what the fuck are we doing? I can think of Ronin ambassadors that are not on this list.
One of them.
Okay, never mind. This cookie experiment was worth it, Zyrari. I changed my point.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they're doing it, to measure their spend on the ambassadors. Where's the 10K, 5K Ron ambassadors?
True.
Oh, don't worry. That's gonna listen. I know who you're talking about, but I'll tell you right now, if they were to come out and make 2 tweets, they would be in there
They would be
before the
number
end
one.
of the week.
Yeah.
Before the end of the week. So don't even like try me with that one. I will tell you, they will be there before the end of the week. Just because they're not there now. Come on, man. You played enough Axie, okay, to know that nothing matters until the last day. You know. Come on, bro. Come on. How many seasons like have you seen somebody we know outside the top 100 and then on the last day they come out top 1, you know? It's like you're muted, by the way. This is no different.
How did I mute myself? Anyways. Yes, I was just saying you.
So remember, there's a meta to all this. It's a game. It's literally, they just gamified it, right? So it's like, you cannot just assume that. You just wait and see. And also, I wouldn't even use 1 week as an example. You know, people can be hot today. They could be going all out. Then they're gonna get tired. They're gonna get exhausted. Right? They're not gonna keep going. Like,
especially for this amount of money, you exhaust faster than.
Yeah. Trevor said 5K is like 20K a month. That's true if it's a weekly. I mean, I was thinking like 5K for the whole month. Right now, we're sitting at like 500 or whatever, right? I was just 10xing that, right? I think 20K would be like a lot more. That's true. It'll be a lot more, but I'll tell you, there'll be more gamification after that. Like at 20K, somebody might like even spend like 10 grand in like other shit just to make sure that, you know, they're gonna be number one. There's so many ways to gamify this. Like, we're really far away from doing something like that and making it worth it, right? The same way people bought games, they would also like game this too. So you have to find like the right levels and like how to do this the right way, I think. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Cookie.fun actually made a collaboration or a partnership with Legion recently, which is now going to like evolve their tracking, which it takes into consideration the impression basis, the mind share on X and social media and stuff like that. But then it also takes into consideration the holdings of the person, to create like a different aggregation system to decide who is, you know, top.
Yeah, so I hope that the more tokens they have, the least their voice matters.
What do you mean, like, yeah, because they're just talking about the bags?
Yeah, I hope so. If it's the opposite, then it's a major L. Yeah, I have $2 million in Ron. Listen to my very unbiased opinion.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. It's like you know what's gonna end up happening, right? It's like I can game it for you right now. Make a new account. Connect a new account. Don't connect the wallet if that's the case. Or the other way around is like, you find a whale and you partner with them. Find a whale of that ecosystem. Be like, yo, let me, I'll connect my cookie to your wallet, or like you guys can connect it. Find a whale. Usually whales are not gonna fuck you over, right? Yeah. And then you guys just split some profits. Like, there's a lot of ways to game this stuff. Like, that's why I still don't believe in these kind of systems. I think they're good for like bringing some attention and some competitions, but like you can't go all in on it, you know?
Yeah.
Like
there's a special segment, but the whole spectrum actually is not effective. Ultimately, is what I see with these systems. Sebastian did make a good point. Gunlock mentioned as well, but the point of the campaign was to stop the FUD from small accounts on the cheap.
not bad.
That's actually not bad either.
But when they realize they're like rank 75 and like rank 150, they're gonna keep going back at it.
They'll double down on the funds. They'll be like, "Where's my $15?"
I'll tell you, the small accounts won't even see like the tip of this leaderboard. Like they won't even see it.
So what is the moves then, bro? We're anticipating the Ronin V2 announcement. That has been spoken about recently. What
V2?
else is
Ronin.
yeah? I mean, what else is really going down? We have the swap system as well. We're in the Ronin wallet that just was added, the new swap feature, which should make directly transferring from other networks to Ronin a lot easier. Other than that, bro, like I don't really have a whole lot that's sticking out right now.
No,
And
I
that's
like
like a
I like
recurring
what
problem.
Ronin's doing. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm sure you guys have tried a bunch of different wallets, right? Like Ronin is for sure one of the easiest and smoothest for
Yeah.
me, for me at least, looking at
Yeah.
it, right? Some of these other ones are super clunky and like it just annoys the shit out of me. I think one thing about Ronin, they seem to enjoy or not enjoy, but like they're focused on really making their wallet the best that it can be right now, right? And they're also trying to make it so that you can use it in like other in other ecosystems
Yeah.
and so on.
And
Right?
most yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was just gonna add on so you could continue just to say anytime any of us have used other wallets, there's at least one feature that you've become muscle memory accustomed to on Ronin that you don't have on these other ones that easily, or could be an extra click away and stuff like that. Like whether it's removing a token or adding another network or sending, I don't know, just things that you take for granted because you use Ronin wallet all the time, and then you use another wallet like MetaMask and you're like, what the fuck is this dinosaur shit?
Yeah, it's exactly. So I think it seems their focus will be like around that. They are like making upgrades all the time. Like some ecosystems don't even do that. They actually, most ecosystems literally spend like 80% of their money on marketing. You know, they're like, oh, okay, well, I don't know. If
We
that's
haven't heard shit about Axie MMO.
No,
We're in
no,
the summer.
they're quiet. They're quiet right now. I think we're here soon. I think it's gonna launch pretty soon. Yeah, Axie MMO.
Did it? I thought I saw a Kagi tweet. He just appeared in the chat too about it being 8 days away or something. No.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I
You know,
don't
if
know.
Kagi
13,
says
13,
8 days away,
13
Kagi-
days away.
if Kagi says whatever, like I always believe Kagi, man. Kagi's that guy who like knows too much, you know.
Yeah.
Like sometimes he forgets that he shouldn't say that. I think that's how I always believe in Kagi. I'm not confirming that's true, but that's my theory of Kagi. Yeah, I think he just always.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That's confirmation, lads.
Did you guys see the Axie and this MMA, the TNX collaboration? Apparently, like we've got an MMA fighter who's fighting for Axie or something.
Oh, right.
Are
I
you
saw that.
serious?
I saw that yesterday. I was like, what is this? Like, what is this collab? I'm like, did we get hacked? Like, I was like, what is that? And then I realized, like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, we now apparently have Axie sponsoring an MMA fighter, and then there's also some other people there. Abstract have their own fighter. There's some other things going on. Is this really like we're choosing to just square up through?
Actually, how did
MMO
this
fighters?
happen? That's what I'm
I have
interested.
no
right?
idea.
We heard nothing of this, or maybe it's because of like the language, right? Or what it's like.
Yeah.
It's not like we're put in our own like English bubble, and there's something else. But yeah,
I wonder if any of the
this is kinda
LATAM community
interesting.
know about TNX. Right, because this is the company
I
that
think
it's
it's something
in
new.
partnership with.
I think it's something new.
Yo, can we talk about also the Moku video with Tony from LC Signs?
Oh, true. I don't know how much they paid for that, bro. But
So that wasn't AI?
No, that was not
no,
AI.
no, it's actually him. Yeah.
I checked on
It's
his page and it was
That's
there.
dope though.
Yeah,
I like
that's
it.
so dope.
That
Yeah.
wasn't AI. Look, it starts
It's
with.
No,
not
look, find the video because it starts off with it's an actual video from Tony, and it starts off with the price of Ron at 160, and then it goes to Tony and says, "Nah, that's AI," and then he does this.
Yeah. It's somewhere.
No. Oh, okay. So this is a great point you guys
Posted
made.
it?
Like bringing
I
this
think
up.
Hansel did post it.
Yeah,
I have a feeling that Moku is
There it is.
getting close to launching.
Like
Yeah.
go to the start.
Like
Go to
going
start the video.
full speed
Yeah,
ahead.
fine. I think so. This feels like it. This video feels like the start of Moku summer,
Well,
Mhm.
for me, it was when Hantal started to like get really, really active.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what was my like trigger, right? And I think they understand like, look, this is gonna be, in this range is where the bull is happening. If they're
Yeah.
gonna prime themselves for like any kind of launch, right? This
Yeah.
would be it. Because you miss this bull, like, oh man, the bear is
Yeah.
gonna be brutal,
Brutal.
right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Every
this
time
is gonna
Hantal
be
has a
good
spicy
time.
tweet. Yeah. Anytime Hantal has a spicy tweet, I buy more Mokis. So.
Damn. You see the chat? Monkey Cop put on.
Ronin
He
is
said,
holding Moku.
At the,
Ah, interesting. Very interesting. Because I think Moku was possible because of Ronin. So I think it's possible Moku outgrew Ronin to an
yeah.
extent, and I think Moku would get many partnerships outside of Ronin. But I also know, knowing Moku, they would never. I don't like. I think they would never abandon Ronin. I think
Yeah.
they're the type of people who are grateful, who are loyal, and like, but they will take care of their family. You know what I mean? Like they gotta take care of business. They gotta make sure they're making their money. So if anything, they will be multi-chain. I don't think they're gonna be like, yeah. I don't
Launching
think
on abstract or something.
I don't know personally. Maybe if they have some exclusivity clauses or something. I have no idea, right? But I don't. I doubt it. I doubt they have, and I think they're just waiting for the right opportunity. But yeah, they I think they would always like stick by Ronin because this is where they started. This is where they built everything from the ground up, and Sky Mavis are investors,
I'm
into
telling you
Moku as
now,
well.
Moku will be a company that potentially has more mind share than the whole of Ronin at some stage.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I believe. And
Yeah.
I think it's an inevitability that they eventually end up in more ecosystems than just Ronin. But they
they will
are
100%.
built
I
here.
think.
Yeah. They're built
I-
here. They are loyal to the fact that they want to see Ronin win, and they are a component to that.
that's the meta too now, right? Multi-chain is the meta. Like, there needs to be at some point where we just come under like one chain. Could be why Ronin is like trying to improve their wallet as much as possible, because if that happens, imagine just being able to use your Ronin wallet on every chain,
Yeah.
right? Imagine being able to use it on AVAX. Imagine your NFTs being connected through all of the chains, right? Within one wallet. That would be dope. I think eventually we're gonna have to get to that anyway, because like crypto and everything has always been about selling quality of life, making things easier, simpler, faster, right? And it just natural. This whole like PvP shit, like, it's not gonna last very long.
Over the course, like over EVM stuff, like I always actually like before it was always MetaMask, but now I actually do use the Ronin wallet when it is EVM stuff, and that's been a huge bonus. But I mean, that's old news, right? I just don't think you can put that many eggs into a wallet. You know what I mean? No, so I think Moku will be a success for Ronin, but they will be a broader success than just Ronin. But I think there's a lot of benefits. There's a lot of beneficial factors of that for Ronin ultimately anyway.
Yeah,
so,
I think
they would have to expand.
People are forgetting that it's also valuable to expand, go out, get like mindshare elsewhere, then bring it back.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to do that. Like before, I would say Ronin was the Goliath in terms of gaming and so on. But I would say like that mindshare has, spread out a bit, and there are new people coming in through other ecosystems too. I still think Ronin has the best community out of all of them. I think, like, from my experience being part of some of these other chains, there are a whole lot of assholes. Like, I'll tell you that. But I that's why I love the Ronin community. They're fucking dope. And that's the biggest strength. We just have to go. We just have to get attention at the end of the day, anyway. So I don't see anything wrong with Moku like going multi-chain, and then yeah, I think they'll do good.
Oh no, Kagi said it's right, bro. The thing about Ronin is like there's so many components to it that are necessary to success, but one of the most vital ones is that money layer, right? Like it's actually pure volume and liquidity, and it just doesn't, it's just not apparent, right? And we haven't, even when we've seen huge participation, a lot of people getting behind products, we've seen a cap of like what that looks like on a dollar spend side, and it's not enough for a major success to be born on it alone, in my opinion. So if I'm at the helm, I think multi-chain is probably the only way to tap in to that aspect of success. And then it's about, okay, if there's actually loyalty here, how do we take the fact that we have something, a thing, a product, or an experience that people want to be a part of, and during that process of them being a part of it, how do we then start to subconsciously influence them to look and favor other things that are going on in Ronin? So it can't really be a one-person job or a one-product job.
But the initial attention grab can be a one product job or a one.
Yeah, for sure. Because like, I mean, if you work in it's positions, right? You need a striker to score some goals. Midfielders can score too, but like they do other areas of the legwork, and you can apply that to any team-based sport. But that's kind of what I see, and we've had it before in the past. I think Cambria did a good job at like, with the cross chain with abstracts. They if we want to be candid, a lot of the money layer came from abstract directly, right? But it was
well,
still
yes and no, right?
game
For example, when I go into Cambria to play, I'm playing in abstract because there's XP farming there.
Yeah.
Right. So it's hard to say. I think, or not hard, but it's not. I don't think it's fair to just assume because we don't know the data really. Like,
we don't know how many Ronin people.
Yeah. When Cambria does the next season, I'm still playing on abstract, but I wouldn't say I knew Cambria because of abstract, right? I'm doing it because it's one more P2A to farm.
Maybe you use abstract for the first time because of Cambria as a Ronin person. So it's the other way around even.
Yeah. Goddamn, look at him go. But yeah, no, I'm just bullish for it. I've said, bro, I don't know how long I've said this for, but like, Moku's gonna be the biggest fucking thing this year. Like, I really think, and a lot of people outside of gaming and on crypto Twitter are quite convinced that a portion of this bull period that we may go through, like, will be AI again, but in a more advanced stage than what the AI season was last time around. And I think Moku fits into that category, and it could be one of the biggest because it kind of crosses over of the AI and gaming. But even Moku aren't branding it as a game product, like a gaming product. And I think that's what's going to actually draw so much attention, is because it's a new genre, and if it performs well, and they already have a core community of people who are going to be participating, so content's going to get made, community members are going to be talking about it, like they have all of the natural resources to make it look like a success. And then the genre niche, which is speculative, which could cause a huge inflation of value, which looks like huge success. I think they could actually inspire a lot of companies to take new directions. So
interesting. Like what Kagi's saying in connection with what you're just saying is like, how is Mocha the next big thing? I think from my perspective, why I would think Mocha's the next big thing is like, I think they have the least chance of failing, actually, more than anything else. I think, like, if you're a trader, you're looking at your risk reward, right? Like, I think the risk reward for Moku is just so good that it's hard to pass up on. Obviously, if you were buying Mokis at like 50 RON, it would have been better, right? But even now, it's like still the same in terms of USD value, like what you would be getting in at. It's still very good, right? Like there's a reason why they haven't launched a token in like 4 years, right? They had all the opportunities in the world to do it because they know that shit's just gonna hold them back. They're gonna be like, and they'll tell you like, what are we gonna do with the token? Like, we're just gonna handicap ourselves. We're gonna destroy ourselves, and not launching a token nowadays is like leverage, right? Because
Bruce said that to me last year, bro. Like,
he's been saying that for a year.
Over a year ago, he was like, "Well, there's no like, Why would we? You know?
Honestly, if you launch a token, you essentially can't raise anymore.
Mm.
You know, like VCs don't give a fuck about you. They're like, well, oh, you don't have a token? Well, how am
What are
I
you
gonna
gonna?
make my money back?
What
Like,
can
how
you
am
do
I?
next?
Yeah. It's like, how am I ever gonna get my money back? Oh, but if you have a token, then I can get my money back in like a week. You know, like once you've launched it. Like, there's so many things that is like. So I think they're smart. I think they're sharks. They're very strong, like in terms of maneuvering and figuring out like what product they've built is garbage and just like shooting it right before they sink more money into it, and then they always understand the meta. I think like they're always pivoting very quickly. And one of the reasons why they did AI gaming is because they realized this AI shit is inevitable, and
Yeah.
people are still fucking like they're still like coping, man, that no AI is not gonna be this, not gonna be that.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Nah,
They went
nah,
where the
nah.
puck was going, bro. They were
The
already in.
AI
They already are where the
AI
puck is
is
going.
fucking inevitable. Like if
So,
you're not utilizing AI, if you're not learning about AI, you're not like you're just gonna be a fucking dinosaur, man. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say. Like I don't
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but you're a dinosaur. Literally.
Yeah.
Like if you're not already making the best use and studying what AI can do and where it's going.
Yeah. Shout out to Axie Passion Ryan in the chat, bro. Good to see you. I have a different take on the question of like how is Moku the next thing, and it is more like, well, you mean you touched it right at the end, but like for me, it's the experience basis. Like it's the fact that for me, I don't think like if you look at gaming, like even Web2 gaming is bearish right now, right? Like we had one of the most anticipated new shooters coming out. What is it? Split something. Yeah. Go back into beta and like postpone the launch. In some of the top games this year already, the player count is on the decline. Yes, there it is. Splitgate 2. You just look at Steam database. Like games are rapidly diminishing in mind share of just gamers anyway, and a lot of gamers are going back and playing old games right now because it's just not it's not the one, right? So like in this industry, one, we don't have the quality a lot of the time. There are a few games who break the mold and do have like a quality product and experience, but one, we don't have the quality to really outperform. And if you get to that quality factor anyway, there's this inevitable player base drop off after a few months or so that no one in the actual traditional gaming industry is really solving well right now. And in this industry specifically, people don't want to play games. They low-key don't want to actually play. Most of them. They're looking more at the financial opportunities of this. So you take the experience of what Moku actually is going to be, and it's not like a physical game that you sit and play, but there is a game at hand, and it is a lot more hands-off. It allows for a lot more speculation. And then Holiday said it in the chat as well. Moku in-house, the people that they have working with them, the developments and the steps and strides that they're making in AI are actually proprietary. Like they're developing them. They don't even... There's not a software. There's not like a somewhere you can leverage the ability to recreate that. If they open source it, then yes, of course, other developers can take on that information and do what they will with it. But at this moment in time, something that they're creating in-house is actually proprietary, and proprietary is value. So for me, the experience will be the next fucking thing, because people will bypass other opportunities because it's like, well, I don't have to spend as much time on this. Right. And then you're also looking at when the wave of AI investment comes back into it, when people look at a company that is leveraging an experience based off of a whole AI stack, they'll look at that as an investment opportunity. And then you also look behind and under the hood of potentially like who is interested in Moku now before the experience drops, and who is supporting Moku now before this drops. You have to be pretty impressed. Like just mention one being AI16Z. And the type of people that they may have in their camp, bro, like fucking, it is insane. So Moku for me will be one of the biggest companies in Web3 gaming without a doubt this year.
It's I talk with a lot of gaming excuse me, like a lot of games and things like that. And like, I'll tell you my honest opinion on gaming is I think these quote unquote skilled gaming, like where your physical capabilities, what you're able to do, like your reaction speed and all those things, they're gonna die. In my opinion, I think they will die. I don't know when, maybe in the next like 3 years, 5 years, whatever it may be, but they will all die. It all depends on like how much AI advances, right? Like if someone can get AI to play for them, they will get AI to play for them. They just will. They just want the end game dopamine at the end of the day, right? But like for example, um, what's a great game that we can talk about? Like, okay, now forget about games. Let's talk about Web3 then, right? Web3 games. You're talking about like people do this because of money, right? They play this because they want money, right? Like, how many hours do you think you would need to play to be good at a game like Aperon? It will take you like 10 hours a day, every day, right? And you have to play for months, maybe years, before you can become as good as like the top one player who's doing that, right? No one has time for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, but if like let's say you have AI battlers, right, where like you are talking instead of like actually physically playing, you can spend more time customizing and making your AI battler better and stronger and watching it battle for you, right? Than you can if like you had to go and do it yourself, right? And then the end goal is still the same thing. You win prize money, right? You win at the same thing. Have you ever watched like a game and you were like, wow, I wish I could play with my mind this game? Like, I know what I want to do in these situations, but I can't because I suck physically, right?
Kagi's,
Like,
you see Kagi's chat that like the disagreeing with it that AI will accelerate human interaction. But I think yes, but only at like fucking superpower organizations, bro. Like I'm talking like the height of like Pokemon VGC. Of course, AI won't infiltrate that. There may be, in the background when they're preparing for tournaments that they leverage AI to simulate battles and calculate everything so that they can run through it. But when they're there at the tournament, there is this due diligence where, it is a human. But I still don't think that eradicates the
it will be
AI
it will be the other way around. It will be like first we'll go through the cycle of like everybody using AI and like everything, and then using human interactions and in-person tournaments is gonna be like a vintage thing that's gonna come back into style eventually. Don't forget, people like new shiny things. They don't like old things right away, and old things can't be old until time passes, right? So I think like in-person tournament stuff, those will happen, but like people will be more interested in like battle of intelligences, seeing like what something can do, seeing like what is the max capability. And I'm not sure if we can ever go backwards, right? Once we see the true potential of something and how good something can be, can we go backwards and be like, oh, we're gonna watch something that's like 20% of its capabilities, right? Of like what it can actually do. That's also gonna be tough. But I do believe that the market for AI gaming hasn't even been cracked yet. We haven't even seen what it looks like, and we haven't even like someone hasn't won in that industry yet, right? And that will eventually happen because there's so much speculative, money and interest there. It's like inevitable that there will be like a bubble for it.
Yeah. It's not gaming anymore. It's just watching simulations. Was a comment in chat, but I think I do think it's an experience pivot. But if you were to put application against application right now and how game applications are performing and applications like fantasy football is performing, the consumer layer application of fantasy football is constantly on the rise, and gaming applications right now are not on the rise. So, like, is this actually alluding more to just human psychology right now and just how people are, right? That like this concept of like gaming, there are so many people that are bad at games because it is a 1 percentile if you are like really, really fucking good at game to make money from it and to be like a name in the industry and stuff like that. Like that's so much of the market that doesn't give a shit. Like they might give a shit fandom wise, but they don't give a shit because they know they're never going to be there. Whereas if you level a playing field and it is now this interesting thing because I have a chance, it's different. I think you have to be logical about the fact that, okay, this actually allows more inclusion and a lot more speculation, because it's not like I'm going to back myself and my abilities to be in a 1 percentile. It's I'm going to back my my facilitation, right, of a thing with a lot of different variables and outcomes. It becomes more interesting just generally because of the multiple ways that it could conclude. And to be honest, that's entertainment, right? If you go into if I go to watch a football match and it's fucking Accrington Stanley versus Arsenal, you know, I'm probably not going to be so attentive because I'm like, well, Arsenal's going to win, bro. You know what I mean? Whereas when it's Arsenal PSG, I'm like, fuck, this could go so many ways. So I think just entertainment alone, it comes in. It's entertainment, but not gaming. Yeah, fair enough.
You know, I love Dota. I love Aperon, Wolf Wars. Like these kind of games are like super. You know, it's all about your micro and macro and all these things. But what's funny is the game that I enjoyed the most the last weeks was playing Tokyo Beast, and that wasn't even AI. That was just lines of code. You know, like watching it. Like sure they rugged, but they had a good game. I won't lie. Right? They had an addicting game. They had an addicting loop. It's like it's different. Like you can't just say it's not gaming, right? Look at chess. Chess is the same thing, you know? But like chess is more so about what your memory is, right? There's gonna be other factors and other things that people will look for, like what's the differentiator of who's the best, right? It's gonna at least in my opinion, we're gonna move towards battle of the minds more than anything else. And I'm excited for it because it's always been like my fantasy, right? Like to have something like that, to truly see like who is the most, not even like who is the most intelligent. We always say like, oh, IQ doesn't matter, this doesn't matter, all that shit doesn't matter. But to be honest, you know, knowledge and those things is what's always moved our world forward. So
I gotta disagree on like the entertainment stuff, because I think gaming is an entertainment media. So like I think entertainment is a umbrella, and gaming falls underneath the entertainment. So you know it may be become a worse form of entertainment based on metrics and statistics, but I think equally gaming is entertainment.
yeah, if I'm talking to my AI and I'm telling it what to do, I'm playing, right? If it eventually transforms into something where like I can use my mind to talk to it and move it around, I'm still playing, right?
Yeah,
the only difference
but
what he's explaining is like you're using your hands, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, you're using your hands because you're going to prompt to the AI, or your voice. You're going to talk to your AI, and that's the game. Like that is gaming. I agree with what you're saying, Steven. Like that.
Yeah.
Like me playing Grand Arena will be all the things that happens when the event is not happening.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like AI, there's not AI. AI is like it's like your body. You know what I mean? That's what we're talking about, right? Like
It
you
is
still have to
prompting.
prompt it.
So there's a training. I mean, to explain it a little bit more, and obviously this isn't like, don't take it to the letter, because this is just from my understanding of what already has been revealed. But you ultimately, like, Mokis will have different attributes based upon who they are, their personalities and whatnot, and the AIs will literally abide by this personality. And similar, because I have this experience through the virtuals early days, but you can have a personality and its worldview and everything like that, but you can prompt it and interact with it, and it will use that data set to then take that into a formula and have an output. So in between the weeks of these games that take place, you're actually training the AI, right? And there's consumables to train attributes of the Moki, which affect its output in the game, week on week, day on day, or whatever it is. And that's obviously going to be token sinks in itself, because if the training equipment or the consumable thing that increases its stats is something you have to purchase, people will be purchasing them. But also, I think there is leverage on like how well you prompt the Moki. And like, I don't know what it would be like, but the game is based off of Killer Queen or something like that. And there's like 3 objectives that win the game, so they can achieve one of those 3. And in the pre-match lineup, you'll see your Moki and the team that it's on, and you'll see the other team. You can kind of get a feel for what the other Moki team might do and might be good at. You can get a feel for your team and what components it has and what objective it could best perform at. So you prompt it and encourage it, like what's the angle? How should you go about this next game that's about to happen? So there is this like pre-lobby game aspect to Grand Arena, but it will be AI that performs when the whistle blows. The AI performs, and it's a hands-off experience. So there's a lot of it that is gaming, and then the actual event is entertainment. And I think it will be a crossover or a new genre of entertainment that actually gets virality. That's why I think Moku will be one of the biggest fucking things that we've seen in a long time. Genuinely so. I have not got enough Mokis.
Do you wanna know what why I know how this will go, like how I know this will go? A lot of people
Bring the crystal ball out.
This. A lot of people don't know about this actually. So OpenAI, they were actually they before they were OpenAI and ChatGPT and all this shit, they were actually building the AI for games. Okay. So in 2018, we saw 2017 or 18, one of those 2 years, or 2016, 2016, 17, something like that. One of those 2 years, they first brought out OpenAI, and they brought it to a Dota event, okay, and they made it battle the world champions of Dota, the TI champions of Dota. They were explaining what it was. Right? Like it's like machine learning, it parsed replays, it played against each other itself and everything. And then like they wanted to see if it can stand up to like the best players, because it beat literally all the other people that they were testing it with. So this was back in 2016 or 2017, I think. I really cannot remember which year it was. And they fought against OG, which was the world champions at the time, and it destroyed them 2-0. In the best of 3, destroyed them. It was like 20-minute games or 17-minute games. Fucking destroyed them. And while watching that, I was like, what the fuck are these AIs doing? Like, what is going on? Like, it was literally they had like in Dota, there's like 3 lanes, right? And then they were playing as if there's no positions, right? Real players play like there's carry, there's support, all this, like position 1, position 2. They play with no positions. They always bought like regenning items. They kept flying out, regenning items nonstop. One hero moved from one lane to another one replaced them in that lane. It was like the weirdest shit you've ever seen. But then, like, even the people like us as pro players, we were learning from the AI. We were like, oh, interesting. Why did they do that? Like, how did they go like that? Okay, how can we incorporate that into our own games, right? That's what we were doing. So when we saw that, go ahead.
Was there merit? Sorry, was there merit to that, to what it was doing, or was it mostly using the fact that it would destabilize the humans? Was that part of the strategy of being
it didn't care about the humans. It literally didn't care about the humans. It was like playing its own game, but reacting to obviously what the humans are doing. But the way that it played, it was like the humans were always suboptimal, in every move, right? And then it was just fascinating, right, to see that, and how it could literally destroy the best team in the entire world within 20 minutes, right? And it's on YouTube, by the way. You can go and watch this on YouTube. And when I saw that, I was like, yo, this is one day gonna be the future. Like, this is gonna eventually happen. It's like, what is the point of players if like they can do this, right? The reason why we watch Dota is because we always want to see the maximum capabilities of a person and what they can do. If like AI can come in and just like smash that, it's gonna be fucking crazy, right? So anyway, thankfully for us gamers, they didn't keep pursuing the gaming stuff with AI, and they moved on to like bigger and greater things and global things. But yeah, they proved the concept of like what AI can be capable of.
Years ago.
So you saw it back then. That's 8 years ago, bro. So you saw it back then that really there's no match when it comes to an environment where AIs and humans are in the same competition in a gaming field, at least.
So, but there, okay, you're saying, but there is a connection in watching people do things. Yeah, IRL streaming, bro.
I was thinking, Trevor brings up something that I was thinking about mentioning earlier, which is like when we were talking about when who was it? Kagi was saying something about it would bring back in-person events or the human aspect and all of that, because it makes you think a bit about chess. You know, people still watch; they only watch humans playing chess.
Who's watching chess, bro? I want to know.
Chess fans, people go, but people are around tables in parks in New York watching people play chess, dudes.
I'll tell you why AI also gonna be great is because it's gonna be hard to fix matches. And you don't forget that part of the reason why people actually watch games is because they bet on sports, they bet on things, and why is there so much money in gaming? It's because it's another tool to like, bring volume, right? That's also something else. Like we're true gamers, right? We love playing games, right? But we can't be blind to where things are headed, And when you have like AI gaming, you have prompt and all this shit, like prompting, like it's gonna be a lot more difficult to actually fix matches. Because the AIs are not gonna lie, they're gonna go in and like they're gonna fucking do exactly what was said to be done. Where like
yeah. It's bullish for me anyway because I'm fucking bad at most games. So let the AI be good.
yeah. That's the thing, right? It's gonna give more access to more people to actually play, where like otherwise you wouldn't play because one, you don't have the time, you don't have the skills, and you don't have the opportunity to put in all that to get yourself to where you actually want to be. But now you do.
I think, bro, we can summarize this and just I think everybody will be participating in Moku if they can, and if they don't have a Moki, the price will start going up because the fucking demand will go through the roof. So, Trevor said AI will definitely lie. I think the difference now is that they can have personalities. AI companions are getting popular, which also expands the game character further than just the game. So you actually have the experience is much broader. Rallo is saying chess has more viewership than the whole of the Web3 gaming space combined, bro. You live in a box. Yeah, I'll gladly stay in this box because I don't need to see black and white pieces. Shout out to Annie Chess though. If you want to go try out a new version of chess, you should try out some Annie Chess and hit Rallo up for that. Fuck you, Rallo. But yeah, like I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's lots of people watch lots of things. You know what I mean? There's probably more people that knit than play chess in the world. How about that one? I mean, so everyone's got horses for courses. Everyone's got horses for courses, lads. But yeah, when it comes to AI gaming, I think Moku is gonna fucking dominate. Domination. All right. Either way, non-paid show. Ask Rock. Oh, we can do because we've ran out of fucking news, to be honest. I mean, there's not much else going on. We can update you on things that are happening. Obviously, Angry Dynamite Labs is still going with their Project Voyager. The quests are live with the Ronin profile, which we spoke about in the intro of things. Testnet has returned with Lubaterra. Cambria cores just got drippier is the headline for staking your Cambria cores. Now gives you pink shards, which will be used for allocation later on during the next season. And one thing that I knew is Kitty just updated their website. I've been deep in the field of that. They're going to have item crafting, equipment crafting, which you'll need the items that you get from the expeditions right now. So if you're a Kitty NFT holder and you've got enough Kitty NFTs to send out on missions, you absolutely should be doing so right now. Ronin is moving forwards with Baxi Infinity, which, oh my God, I don't know. But shout out to Ronin because we need those types of developers out here. And Ronkiverse rice farming is real, bro. It is. Rallo says chess has 11 million daily active players. Yeah, and they're all like fucking 65. No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna shit on chess anymore.
Is that online, or does it try to estimate people who play chess at home?
No, it's already chalked. It's already chalked. Party Icons has $180K prize pool. Where the fuck they got that money from? I won't know.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say 180K DAU like most Web3 games.
That's only chess.com, not even real
Yeah.
life. That's crazy. You know what? Like everyone here would destroy me at chess, so we don't have to have that conversation because I've never played a game of chess in my entire life, and you probably can tell by the person that I am, right? So, that's why I'm not team chess over here. But maybe that's content, Rallo. Actually, maybe that is content, bro. Never played chess, plays anti-chess for the first time. Might be the road inwards. But yeah, I think that's it, lads. Unless we got anything else to bring to the table, I think we got up to date with everything that's happening here on Ronin right now. Anybody got any? You dived more into Pokemon cards or anything? With the Jin's fortune machine, or you abandoned that ship a long time ago?
No. As for Jim Pokemon machine, I got pissed off. I'm gonna be straightforward. I'm gonna be like 100% keeping it a buck with you guys. Like the moment they went from $120 to $100, I said, "Fuck this shit." That was
Yeah.
just complete bullshit. Like
Yeah.
because everyone, most of the volume came from the first days, and people bought in at $120. The rewards were the same. Or sorry, the gacha inside were all the same. Right, everything the same. They know like there was some mistakes in terms of pricing and everything, and like you just got like they just brought it down from like 120 to 100. It's like, okay, well, too bad for you. Like I fuck that. I don't fuck with that. That's all
Yeah,
I'll say.
it's
That's
called-
all
it's
I'll
called-
say with that.
Screwing over your early supporters, basically.
Yeah. After that, I'm like not interested anymore.
Yeah.
Like yeah. It was
It's
fun.
like if Ronki Rice Farmer did, instead of doing a 50% discount for day one users, they waited for all the early supporters to buy their farms, then did day two minus 50%.
75. Oh yeah, so yeah. I see what you mean.
Makes no sense.
But the number one roller or spinner, has spun
Cairo, I
44 times.
Maybe it was Cairo.
The account's called Traveling Merchant, but it is
Yeah,
That's Cairo. That's Cairo.
That's Cairo.
Yeah. He's using it to reward
Is-
something, right?
The stakers,
tournament.
the tournament, but also
Stakers, yeah.
there's 500 over 5. If you have over a 500 Ron in their validator before the 1st of August, there's going to be a snapshot. And you can get Pokemon cards.
Exactly.
We talked a bit about Rallis asking if we talked about mods. We talked a bit. I like the trend that he started about announcing when he has 1% of a collection.
Yeah.
It
Very
makes me want
encouraging,
to get.
yeah.
It makes me want to get 1% of Moku's, but
Yeah, but I
still
mean,
have a bit to go.
1% when you're an entity makes sense. As an individual, is fucking expensive, bro. And when it comes to the distribution of that, like you can't
Hey,
use.
do you think it's the biggest? Do you think it's going to be one of the biggest gaming AI companies in Web3, or do you not think it's?
Do you want to make it entity?
it?
Make an entity. No, I think we can actually expand on the Mark of the Zeal conversation, because I mean even I tweeted about it the other day, because I think it's important to understand, like we've spoken about it a lot, right? Like making winners, like Ronin needs to make winners. I think I would categorize Mark of the Zeal as what, like a winner. Ultimately, you know, they've won in the ecosystem because they were there for an opportunity with land, right? They took charge with land. They provided opportunities for people, and they have made money for others too. But in that process, they have accumulated a lot of funds in access for themselves, which is winning, right? They're making money, which is winning, and we need more of those opportunities. Like Axie was able to provide it through land gameplay, and I don't think everybody is so happy about that. In every aspect, like not everyone's like, oh, this is great, right? But if Axie Land is the only experience that we have on the network that is capable of producing a winner like that, like how, like, and is anyone close? You know what I mean? Like, is anyone even close to being able to do that? And that
For
speaks
me,
more on our capability of making winners.
For me, if land is the only one capable of doing that, all that means is that Sky Mavis is the only one able to decide, because land is not a game; it's an AXS
printer.
What do you call it? Yeah, an AXS printer. That just means that Sky Mavis could decide at any point to bump up anything on any game or cut the rewards on land and kill that thing. So it's got nothing to do with that game in particular. It's just got to show the fact that Sky Mavis still has. There's different ways to say it. I'll say it in the bullish way, which means that they have a lot of cartridges left in their or a lot of bullets left in their gun, deciding who and when to make winners. But some of mod scholars will. I bet that at least one of them will end this cycle considered as a whale, from winning off AXS, then either following Cairo's advice or contributing in their Discord, in their guild, to placing leverage bets on NFTs or on a game, and then just having multiple wins in a row and end up in whatever respect a whale in some sort.
Yeah.
Just making.
But you think
making
one of the
winners.
scholars will? I was
Yeah,
thinking Cairo.
Yeah, well, imagine if you're making like $1,000 a month as a Filipino for the last 2 years playing at Homeland. A smart one will make those bets accordingly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can take a look at some of those details, right? Mark of the Zeal has been actively acquiring numerous NFTs on Ronin. They must know something. Cairo, what do you know? They currently own 2% of Tier 1 to Tier 4 Play Cambria cores, 2% of the Dragon Rings in Play Calamity, 1% of Awakened Hunter NFTs, including a 1-of-1, 3% of Fableborn Kingdoms, 1% of Ronki, 1% of Fishing Frenzy. They also have a lot of Ronki tokens as well, and 1% of Moku's Mokis. So they have picked some good ones, to be honest. There isn't one that I would fault there. Play Calamity is actually a good... I played that on stream maybe, like 2.5, 3 months ago. And it was actually a good fucking experience, but there was a lot of monetary that had to be added to it. So having 2% of the fucking Dragon Rings is pretty damn decent.
I'll tell you what's going on, right? He's just smart. He knows that this is like the worst sentiment ever.
Yes,
in the
is it the
history of
best
this
prices?
industry.
Yeah.
And like you seeing the market conditions of what's going on is just a smart bet, right? Like 20% down from here is not much in all those assets. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna be like, oh fuck, I just died, right? But like the upside is crazy, right? He just went out and found which ones have the most upside potential, right? And not like some retarded bet, because like the game is probably gonna rug in like a week's time or something. Like that's a good list.
Do you think this needs to exist? Like, this goes back into the conversation of guilds, because I feel like there's a large congregation of people there, obviously for the original reason of there was opportunity being created there, and from that there's a community that develops. But then within that community, they probably make these decisions on what is a smart bet, and then those community members stick around and stay because they know, oh, I don't need personal exposure.
Guilds
to
are
these
dead,
products.
bro. Guilds are mega dead.
You really think so?
Yeah, it's very simple. Guilds don't have a good revenue generator, right? It's not a good business. It's always going to be in the negative usually. But if you did have one, good for you, right? Then you can stay alive and keep going. I mean, Marco Zio is a great one because they have like what 80% of the land players or something, right, within them. So they were able to build up over time. Also, I think how games now pay for marketing through loud voices over actual real players has also affected the guild model,
revenue system,
right? Because guilds used to get deals from these games and partnerships and so on to bring in players, play their game, build some reputation within the game and like advance it. Now it's like, okay, what content creator do you guys have? Oh, okay, who's your best tweeter? And they just go to one guy and give him all the money that you would give to a guild instead, or a partnership with a guild, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just the industry that we're in, right? The attention is more important than having real players, because they can always make the players through botting.
And that's the tea, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to end on a very sentiment, but bro, look,
Before you go, I just wanna give a huge shout out to the guys in chat.
Thanks.
They've been here from the beginning. They've been talking and contributing, and like you guys give great feedback and great topics to discuss about, right? Without you guys, we wouldn't be here either. So I want to give a shout out to some guys who are in chat. Who we got here? Euronymous, Nathan, Robocop, Big Crit, Ito9, Gunlock, Shedra, Rollo, Vida Loca, Zyori, Shags, Kagi, Kitty, Bume, Trevor, Zanatos, Holiday, Sleepy Magoo. Our boy Sleepy Magoo always showing up.
Always
every
showing
day,
up.
bro.
Always showing up.
Oh, well then, Callie, Quasing Life, and Ryan. Oh, and we
Big
got
up.
someone else in here. We got Slavas. Tony
Yes,
as well.
brother.
Nice. Thank you
Shout out
guys
to you
for
guys.
being a part of the chat, contributing. You are all here because we want to see the space move forward at the end of the day. And yeah, it's been a good time, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Nah, echo that, man. Shout out to everybody that comes through and shows support. We are here every single week, twice a week. Next week, I'm telling you now, for sure, we'll get some spicy shows. There's not information that is coming next week that is going to be groundbreaking, but we are going to have some spicy conversations. Just know that for sure. So make sure you're here next week. I hope you guys enjoy your weekends. If you haven't already, make sure you're following the Ronin Radio on X as we keep posting all the news updates from there. And we are pushing a new initiative with the Ronin Radio. We will launch next week. And essentially what we're looking to do is we're looking for the creators of the week. So if you're making content throughout the week and, it will help your Ronin push if you want to make your $15, and you at the Ronin Radio in your content, we will select a piece of content each Thursday show to feature and have a segment on the show so that any topic that you want us to cover, you could make a little bit of content on it on social media, and we will use that content in our show. Obviously, there will be the shout outs and some repost value and spotlight, I guess, from myself, Stark, Theben, and the Ronin Radio itself. So Creators of the Week is going to be launching for this weekend into next week, and we'll select our first winner next Thursday. You'll see announcements on the structure of that, so keep post notifications on the X account. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you stick around, bro, because the way the industry is right now, shit is happening every single day, and I'm not gonna lie, it pays to be chronically online at this moment in time. If you can, be here and make sure that you are locked in for the next few months, bro. We'll be back on Tuesday, so enjoy your weekends. Thank you, Stark. Thank you, Theben, for being here. Well, it's not a classic rogue, don't worry. I'm actually saying goodbye. I love you guys, and thanks for showing up and showing support. Okay?
But wait,
is that fair? No. Oh, there was this. Wait. No.
Oh, bro.
We're not doing that. We're not. Guys, thank you guys for showing up. Seriously, I'm not joking. Like. But there is this one thing, though, bro. Like, for real, there's this. Shut the fuck up. We'll see you next week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye. Oh, no, wait. We forgot to tell you. Oh, shut up, man.
You're still live.
That's because there is actually one thing that I still need to tell you guys in the chat. And that one thing is, buy more Mokies.